Hello, welcome to my channel of my adventures in planners, organization, books, homeschool, homesteading, travel, and whatever else is worth sharing. Today, I'm going to show you how I use my big Happy Planner for homeschool lesson planning and memory keeping. So, I just wanted to share a few supplies that I like to use. I like to use the mild liners, and the Tombow adhesive runner is also really helpful for memory planning. My favorite supply is the 5-barrel Coletto, and I'm able to have some inks in there as well as a mechanical pencil insert and an eraser. So really love this. This is key. So I used the big Happy Planner, and I got the deluxe cover, and I like the deluxe cover because I can keep bits that I need for each month over here just with the planner kind of separated out that I can see and be reminded of it, and also for traveling if we're on the road for some reason. I'm able to kind of have it all together and organized. So the big Happy Planner is really great because just like any Happy Planner, it's customizable. You can change and pull out any part of it, including even the cover, as I just saw. I like to keep Post-it notes over here on the side so that I can, mark anything that I might need. I do keep this spot empty and open so that I'm able to flip to the front if I need to. For whatever reason, I kind of tuck and pull that way, and so this way I won't knock them off. I keep a washi tape wrapped on a card right here for any, things that we might, be doing that I need to mark. So for instance, this one for the kitchen classes I keep, and I'll just mark it in there, and I'll show you that in a minute. I also have stickers that I use, functional stickers for ballet, Tea Time Tuesday, computer work we do, art class, nature study, library trips, and I can link below all of the shops from which I get some of these functional stickers from. I also have stickers to use to motivate my students. My oldest has a traveler's notebook that she uses to keep track of her daily schedule, and if she does well or perseveres through something difficult, I reward with a sticker, and it's a great motivator. I keep our attendance in here with the lesson plans. I found this printable on My Joy-Filled Life. It was a free academic calendar, and I just use it. I just check off each day that we meet our state's requirements for the hours per day, and make sure that by the end of the year, I meet the full day requirements as well. And I just keep track of it that way. I also track our non-school aged child just for frame of reference and just to kind of keep that as a record, but it's not, something that maybe I'm quite as stringent about. So I keep that in there. I do planning in here for the year. So I take a general, these are the subjects that I want to get to, and then I list the resources that we have. Here are my goals that I have for morning time, which we use Cindy Rollins examples for morning time and really enjoy that as well. And I also have planned out to even more detail our school age student child's schedule. And we follow the Well-Trained Mind. And so I just take this that I've marked off in the grammar stage because that's where we are. I just kind of mark what are the minutes that we should be spending on each subject, what are the resources that we have or need to get for that. And again, I plan out more stringently here of what exactly we want to be addressing for morning time, what, we're going to do earth science and astronomy for science, and just kind of make sure that that's laid out in a general way. I also plan out logistics, such as, what is our portfolio going to look like? When are we going to be filing in that portfolio? I lay out our read alouds. So I follow the Read Aloud Revival, and I can link her below. She has a membership site and a great Instagram feed and podcast. So I lay that out for the year. So I just kind of do some general planning. And then what I end up doing is, and I'll start with the weekly, I do a weekly plan where I will list out, what we're doing for each subject. Let me show you here. I'll just pull this out. So I'll write down up here, you know, morning time, math, grammar, spelling, and I kind of write down the subjects and then fill that in. It starts out, you know, knowing that I'm going to be doing, you know, general ideas, and then as the year continues, it gets a little bit more specific as I do my weekly planning. I use Diptyque app to take the photos on my iPhone and make 4 photos into one 4x4, and then I send that to Free Prints app, which you just have to pay the shipping and you get 85 free prints a month, or you can send it to Snapfish. They also have a deal where if you use their app, you just have to pay for shipping. And then I cut them and use the tape runner to glue them in. And it's a really great way to review also with the kids with, you know, do you remember when we went on that field trip and we saw that snake? And do you remember when we went on this field trip and we saw, you know, we did these activities there? It is a good way also to review in addition to memory keeping. So as I go through and plan out my weeks, and I do try to plan out almost a full year of, you know, what we want to do, I make sure that I have a monthly spread. And so I really start with, in the monthly spread, our 2 main spines for homeschool are history and science. And in the history and science spines, I just kind of write, okay, this is what the general schedule is, and kind of keep track that way. The weekly plans then follow that general theme each week. And then as we actually implement, then I go in and add the markings on the monthly layout. So for instance, I can show you here. So this week we did Australia for history and geography. My pre-K was learning 1 letter a week, and so he was on letter F. Fire prevention in our state is required curriculum, and so we do that in October because it's a national theme. And so I did fire prevention with F, for instance. And as the week progressed, we had cooking class, and we had Tea Time Tuesday. So you can see I took the washi from that washi card in the beginning and some of the stickers and added them in quarter boxes and added them in. I also do some decorating, just a little bit, as you can see here. And I also list kind of some of the resources that I want to make sure that I'm keeping track of throughout the month. We did a trip to the local fire station, and so I put that sticker in there. And so this also becomes memory keeping, where as we implement and do something, I'll mark it down. We had nature study, an outdoor school, we went to the library, we watched The Great Pumpkin. So all of those things kind of main things get tracked here for that month. Also, I can show you this. So within the month, Happy Planner also has a facing page that kind of does a general overview for the coming month, which is not really applicable for what I use it for. And so I've just made it my own by using that Diptyque app and making pictures for like a monthly project and putting it in there rather than putting it into the week. And so we were part of the Nature Pal Exchange. And so this way I'm able to track what we did for the Nature Pal Exchange, record what we actually sent. And that way the project we're keeping track of it, because I don't have anywhere else at this point where I have a list of what we actually did. And so this way it also works really well for memory planning too. So I'll show you, here's another month. This was February. The Happy Planner does a really great job of having decorations already in the pages that match kind of with the season, which I like. But you are able to make it your own. I added some washi. I did some gelato art journaling with hearts at the top. Here in this monthly spread, I added pictures of our fur babies. And so, I'm able to make it look pretty and functional as well, which I like. We record things like what the moon cycles are, any holidays, Candlemas was there, and the Great Backyard Bird Count. And so, you just kind of track monthly what we did after we did it, and then weekly, this is kind of the plan where I use the mild liners to kind of mark pink and blue for what each student is doing, and if it's not highlighted, then it's something that we would all do together. And I would have some pictures. February is a little bit slower because of snow that we get, but put some pictures in there to remember, you know, that we had a tea party that week with neighbors. So, you know, the weekly ends up kind of being the thing that shifts and moves, and the monthly spread is where we kind of show the big picture. This is what happened, and more decoration. And you can see May, for now, since we're at the end, is pretty sparse and not as decorated, and it will end up as decorated. And for the weekly, you still have your general plan. If I don't get to something that's important, I'll cross it off and make sure it gets moved. If it wasn't vital, then I'll just erase it and move on. And so my plan is I'll do another video using the new Big Happy Planner that I got to do this coming year, and I can share kind of the process, maybe do kind of a plan with me. I can share the process of how I go about planning, future planning with it, prior to the memory keeping. I got this resource from boldturquoise.com. She has a lot of really great resources. She's coming out with a course on how to use the Classic and the Big Happy Planner for homeschool planning, so I'll be sure to incorporate that as well. So if you like what you saw, please like the video below, and if you want to see more like this, please subscribe. And until next time,